created using Powtoon. Hello folks, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I just want to share my story with my situation back in 1981 in the United States Marine Corps. I was sitting in a chapel during boot camp, and a chaplain tapped me on the shoulder and asked me to come into his quiet room. As I was walking into his quiet room, I had no idea what he wanted from me. It was then that God was setting my life in motion. So the chaplain sat me down and he says, Ralph, I've noticed that you like to help people, you motivate people, you're always walking around with a smile. And I wanted to know, and this is the chaplain saying this to me, I wanted to know, Ralph, would you like to volunteer and become a lay leader? And of course, I had no idea what a lay leader was. So he explained to me what a lay leader was. It's somebody that is a liaison between the recruits and the chaplain. So when the recruits have issues, problems, or anything like that, they go to the lay leader, and they go to the chaplain as the lay leader to let the chaplain know of the situations that are happening. It was then in 1981 that God already had a plan for me, and what when there from that point on was that God realized that no matter how long it would take for me to achieve what God already knew what was going to happen to me, He would let me go down into the worst extremes in life. So from 1981 as a lay leader, and I'm going to show you the medal now with a lay leader, the front and the back. This is the back of the medal, and then the front looks like this. So in 1981, at Paris Island, South Carolina, when I became a lay leader, God already had my life set in motion. But again, He wanted me to set my own course in life. So I went down the years and the course of my life, and did some of the worst things possible to my own body through alcoholism. God already said to Himself, well, I'm going to wait for Ralph to get close to hitting rock bottom. So from 1981 until 2011, which is 30 years, God came to me again and He said, Ralph, are you ready to continue helping other people? That's when I formed Mastic Beach Outreach 2011, and what that was is for older people and mentally and physically challenged people, that my wife and I would help them by giving them clothing, food, possibly, like in one case, tires for someone's car. And so God said, okay, he is getting better, but he's still not ready to do what I really wanted him to do. So in 2011, I continued my alcoholism to the point of 10 to 15 shots a day. As time went further, two years down the road, it became worse and worse with my alcoholism. In 2013, God finally put His big hand on my head and says, are you ready now? That is when I hit rock bottom. June 22nd, 2013, I reached out and I finally admit that I had an alcohol problem. It was then when God lifted me up and set my life in motion for today, September 2nd, 2014. So from 2013 until 2014, I continue educating myself and you, others, through my websites, through my videos on how to battle with addiction. And God saw this, and He said to Himself, Ralph is still continuing helping people. So in between 2013 and 2014, as time was going by, and I proved to God that I was really reforming myself, that God introduced me to Dr. Luis Gonzalez. I had been toying with the idea about becoming a substance abuse counselor until I ran into an article about recovery coaching. So I thought it was very ironic that God had planted Dr. Luis Gonzalez from Starting Point, that's StartingPointMN.com, 844-414-844, into my life. Dr. Luis Gonzalez gave me the educational programming to turn me into a recovery coach. So while I was training for Dr. Luis Gonzalez to become a recovery coach, and today, my father comes from South Carolina to visit, and we're looking at my shrine, which my wife calls a shrine, which is all my Marine Corps ribbons and medals. And my father asked me, Ralph, what is this medal for? What is this particular medal for? And I then said to myself, here's where it all came together. I finally realized what that medal stood for and how it influenced me in my life. It was back in 1981 that God knew already that I would eventually, towards the middle or 60% of my life, be out to help other people, to continuously help people, to motivate people, to coach people. So it was from 1981 to 2011 that I ran my life to the ragged ends, to the pit of the worst. And then from 2011 to 2013, even worse than that. And then June 22nd, 2013, finally helped myself up with the grace of God. And in 2014, became an addiction recovery coach. And all that epiphany came to me due to my father asking me what this stood for. This particular silver medal, when he asked me that, it all finally came together, that God had bigger and better plans for me. And this is what I'm telling you, folks. There is a plan for you. No matter what the plan might be, you don't know what it is, but there is a plan for you. It's just a matter of you figuring it out. So why don't you let me help take your life back? Thank you. God bless you, and have a sober day. Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back. Today is September 4th. It's about 3:30 in the morning. I just want to share with everyone something this morning. I saw a demonstration maybe about a month ago in reference to our dark side and the power of prayer. If you continuously pray over and over and over again, things will eventually become clear. Although a lot of times when we pray to God, we don't get answers right away. But if you continuously pray over and over, things become clear. So the demonstration involves this bottle, and if you see, the inside of this bottle is all dark liquid. That represents our dark side. And this cap represents our limitations. So we as a human, which is the bottle, have limitations, which is this cap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bottle into the sink, and we're going to do a demonstration. So let me put that there. I'm going to turn the camera around so that everybody can see it. And hopefully you folks can all see it now. Okay, so you see the bottle. I'm going to turn the water on. Okay, so now everything inside is dark, which represents our body and our inside. And what I'm going to do, and this clear water represents our prayer. So you see the continuous water running. I'm going to now, as the prayer, as we're praying, I'm going to lift our limitations, which is the cap. And we're going to slowly add our prayer to this. We all go through dark times. I mean, I've had some dark years. I just didn't understand everything that was happening. I'm going to admit it that I'm not a super patient person. I tend to want answers right away and know what's happening and what I can do to solve it. I don't like not being happy and confident about things. It's just not who I am. But when I get down, it takes a lot for me to get back up. If we pray for a sign, which is this, the water is prayer, but just give up because we feel like God's already heard our prayer and He knows what we need, but He hasn't answered. It's kind of like when we were kids in a toy store and we kept asking our mom and dad for toys, but we never got any results. Yeah, it never worked for me either, but you get what I mean. Anyway, that is exactly what's happened to me in the past years. I have prayed and prayed and prayed, but haven't really gotten any results. The answer I thought God would give me, and especially in the time of praying, I thought my problems would be fixed, which was all before 2013. Then in 2013, my cap of limitations was lifted. This is the cap, remember this now, was lifted off the bottle, which is my body. Here is where I will just show you how that worked for me. So basically we all have dark sides, which is what's in the bottle, was in the bottle. We are facing, and we take the limitations off our mind, which was the cap I lifted. Don't limit what He can do, because we have to just trust in the Lord. That sometimes even after we pray and we just give up, and it is often why we get defeated. However, even though nothing has really changed, we just keep praying. That's the prayer, the sign of the prayer, the flowing Lord. Just keep praying and never ever give up praying. And if we do that and devote ourselves completely to the Lord, He will pull us through. The dark times will go away, and we just have to be patient. I know it's hard. Being patient truly is a virtue. But by never ever giving up on prayer, it's going to show you that God will eventually answer all your prayer. And the more we pray, which is this water going into the bottle, one day everything will become clear. You see how clear this is now? That is the power of prayer. Folks, I think that demonstration says it all. If we had a bottle which represents our body, and the bottle, everything was dark on the inside, and the water coming out of the faucet represents the prayer, day after day after day, just keeps adding to the darkness which was in the bottle. Eventually, all that prayer has to turn what was dark inside this bottle, which is our body, has to change and become as clear as this water in here. That, folks, is the power of prayer. Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. Today we are going to talk about some tips on quitting to smoke marijuana, otherwise known as pot. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com. You can reach him at 844-414-8444. You can also just go to his website, www.startingpointmn.com. The MN stands for Minnesota. Reach out to him if you have an addiction issue and you need to get some motivation going. You need to get some coaching. You're tired of people bringing up your past. You don't want to talk about your past. What you do want to do is work on today, 24 hours at a time, and then move forward into tomorrow. He will walk with you hand in hand, like I would as an addiction recovery coach, but you need to reach out to him at 844-414-8444. That's Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com. On the other side of his business, yes, he can turn you into a recovery coach. If you have passion, professionalism, and a personality, and you have some sort of addiction background, whether it's battling your own or maybe helping a loved one, reach out to him at 844-414-8444. That's Dr. Luis Gonzalez from www.startingpointmn.com. If you need eyeglasses, go to www.globaleyeglasses.com, where they are focused on saving you money. They have frames starting at $6 and go up. Those glasses, those prices at $6 that go up to about $69 include the following. They include a cloth, a case, but here's the big thing. They include standard, clear, non-coated, regular prescription, single vision lenses. Plastic, that would be. But if you need progressives, they have them. If you need line bifocals, they have them. If you need transitions or photochromatics, they have them. They also have polarized lenses. They have the lenses that we can make thinner for you. That is all available at globaleyeglasses.com, where they are focused on saving you money. And here's the big plus. The fact that I've been in the optometry business for 30 years and I know Global Eyeglasses very well. You can contact me directly on my text at 631-599-0218, and I will assist you in placing your order. I will give you all my professional advice on how to get the best fit, the best wear for your eyes. Call me, 631-599-0218, and go to www.globaleyeglasses.com, where they are focused on saving you money, and get your eyeglasses today. Go to my website. I have 3 websites. My first one is about this show, which is called www.takeyourlifebacktoday show. It has the latest episodes. It has what I speak about on there. It has my bio on there. It has all the comments from all over the world that people send me via email or chatting. Go there at www.takeyourlifebacktodayshow.com, and then you can also go to my informational website, which is www.clearviews.info, and there you will get the 411 on all addiction and recovery. They have I have 1,000 or so articles that were informational snippets that are written by either doctors, psychologists, or therapists. I am merely the messenger. I am an addiction recovery coach. But if you go to www.clearviews.info, you get all that information. On page 7, you'll find a rehab center for almost every state. Also, if you go to my other website, which is for my addiction recovery coaching, it's www.clearreform.com. That's clearreform.com. There you'll get to see what I do when it comes to coaching and how the format and the steps are. Folks, if you notice, both my last 2 websites start with the word clear. And that came to me in 2013, and I said, what is a good name to come up with a website. So CLEAR stands for Community Lessons Empower Addiction Recovery, because it's you and me as a community that empower addiction recovery. It's our stories. It's real people with real stories, sharing them. I share them through the camera. I share them sometimes on a radio type of interview. I share them on my websites, and you, I'm sure, share them within your area with family, friends, or whatever you do. You might even be sharing at AA, but let's all get together, go to my websites, but now you know what CLEAR stands for. It's Tips on Quitting to Smoking Pot. My number one tip to you is that you have to absolutely, just like drinking, want to quit 100%. 100%. If only part of you wants to quit, you will find that the other part of you does not want to quit, and the other part of you that does not want to quit will win. It's almost like the example, you have the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other, and the angel doesn't want you to smoke pot anymore, but the devil still wants you to. You need to flick that devil off your shoulder and have two angels sit on your shoulder. That is when you're 100% ready to quit smoking pot. Number two, there are no physical symptoms. People you have tried to that you have tried to quit, or maybe you even tried to quit, failed all because of withdrawal symptoms. Those are the hardest things to deal with. In other words, people will not attempt to quit drinking, smoking pot, or doing crack because they are afraid of the unknown. They are afraid of maybe they can't handle the withdrawal symptoms. So that is important. So number two is that there are no physical ones. So you have to be careful on that. Number three is two methods: cold turkey and tapering. Cold turkey would be to just quit drinking, quit smoking pot 100% today, without any support, without any form of cutting down. Tapering is exactly what the word means. It's you will taper slowly. If you're used to smoking 3-4 joints a day, now taper to maybe 2 joints, to 1 joint, where eventually no joints, 100% quitting. That would be considered tapering. So you have cold turkey, it's to quit today, quit everything. As far as pot smoking, drinking, whatever, I'm not going to narrow it down, and tapering is to gradually get off. Number 4 is maintain a good diet and exercise. Very important to maintain a good diet, exercise while quitting and after. It will make you feel good, it will make you look good. So it's so important that you utilize a good diet and great exercise. Number 5, distract your mind with a new hobby. What does that mean? Find a passion. My passion is this camera. My passion is my message to you, to help you on a daily basis. That is my passion. That is a new hobby or new passion that I found after becoming sober. What is yours? Think about where you like to do. Think about how you might help fellow human beings with what you like to do, and how you can hopefully practice karma, because what does go around comes around. What comes around goes around. It's a big circle. So if you do good, good things happen to you. Number 6 is drink lots of water. A lot of people don't even bring this up, but people don't realize it will help flush your system. All that water helps flush your system. So drink lots of water. Number 7 is create a social group. Best way is to stay away. If you've had friends that are heavily involved in drugs and alcohol, stay away from those people. Surround yourself with a whole new support group. Find maybe new friends in church or wherever you might go. Number 8, don't replace this habit with another habit. In other words, say no to drugs and say no to alcohol. Don't say no to drugs and then say, okay, well, I'm going to substitute it with alcohol. That is not going to work. It doesn't work. Number 9 is stay away. Best to stay away from old hangouts. If you used to hang out at a friend's house, and one of the first things they would do, even before maybe giving you dinner, is break out a joint. Those are the hangouts you need to stay away from. And number 9 coincides with number 7, which is the social group, because those hangouts are not good social groups for you to hang around with. Number 10 is reward yourself. For every joint you did not smoke, put that money away somewhere, and then save for a vacation, a new car, some New clothes. Reward yourself. You should be proud of yourself being able to quit smoking pot. It might not happen overnight. It might not be cold turkey. It might only be tapering one joint at a time. But you're succeeding. But here's the key factor. We're going to discuss the tips one more time, but the key factor is number one. You have to be 100% certain that you want to quit. Don't let the angels say you want to quit and the devil on the other shoulder say you don't want to quit, because it's not going to happen then. Number two was there is no physical symptoms in quitting to smoke pot, and that's what people are afraid of. People, all the people that have failed said because they could not stand the withdrawal symptoms, which could be many things of which I've discussed in other videos. There are two ways to quitting smoking pot, and there's cold turkey and tapering. Cold turkey is just to say I quit 100% right now, no questions asked. Tapering is to slowly move down. If you smoke 2-3 joints a day, cut down to 1-2, and then cut down to 0. Number 4 is maintain a good diet and health. It is so important, and exercise I should say. It's so important that you continue with a good diet and exercise. Very important to maintain a good diet and exercise with quitting and after. It will make you feel good, and it will make you look good. Number 5 is distract your mind with a new hobby. Like I said, find a passion, whether it's doing what I do, which is to help other people with addictions across the board, drugs, alcohol, doesn't matter, or find another passion, but find a passion, find where you can actually help other people. And remember the big circle I talked about, karma, because it just keeps going. You do good, you get good. You do bad, you get bad. Number 6 is drink lots of water, and I'm surprised people don't bring this up a lot, but when you drink a lot of water, it'll flush your system. Number 7 is create a social group that is different than the social group that you're in presently, because the social group that you might be in are people that utilize drugs and alcohol, and that is not going to work if you're trying to quit smoking pot. Number 8 is don't replace an old habit with a new one. If you're saying no to pot, don't say yes to alcohol, because all you're doing is going from one drug to another. If you want to be drug-free, be drug-free 100%. You need to stop today, once and for all. Number 9 is stay away from old hangouts. That goes with number 7. Number 9 and number 7. Old hangouts have the old social group. The old social group, the old hangouts have the drugs, have the alcohol. It's time for new hangouts and new friends. You can meet them in church, you can meet them at AA meeting, you can meet them at NA meetings, you can meet them anywhere. You can meet them just by you watching me, you met me. These are all considered new social groups. Number 10 is reward yourself. For every joint you did not smoke, put that money away and save up for a vacation, save up for a new car, save up for new clothes, save up for a lot of other things, but reward yourself, because you are doing what a million other people have done, and that is to finally say no to drugs and alcohol. Remember that a sober today makes for a better tomorrow, and don't ever expect big changes to come without taking the small steps to get to those big changes. And if you think positive, positive things will happen. And you got to remember, every tunnel has a light at the end of that tunnel. All you need to do is walk towards that light, and you will see changes coming your way. These were the tips on quitting to smoke pot. I hope to God you got something out of number 1, which is you need to stop at 100%. Number 2 is there are no physical symptom signs. Number 3 is to either quit cold turkey or taper off of it. Number 4 is to maintain a good diet and exercise. Number 5 is to distract yourself with a new passion in life. Number 6 is to make sure you drink lots of water. Number 7 is to create new friends that don't do drugs and alcohol. Number 8 is to don't replace this habit with an old habit, and don't replace drugs with alcohol. Number 9 is to stay away from the old place hangouts that you had, because they're not good for you. Number 10 would reward yourself. Save that money that you're not utilizing drugs and alcohol. Folks, if it's time to do those changes today, let it happen today. 2 things need to happen. The first thing is to finally say you have a problem, and to make sure that it's not just words. It is the true fact that you realize you have a problem and you want change in your life, and then reach up to God, ask God for guidance and direction. I utilize this example all the time, and it is so effective. Your body is equal to a ship, and your mind is equal to the captain, because your mind is in charge of your body. A captain is in charge of the ship. No captain would ever take their ship into any rough ocean without navigation. If you're like me, you don't have full control over your life. You don't have that navigation. But here's the good news. God does give you the navigation you need to go through any rough storm. All you need to do is reach up to God and ask for guidance and direction. He will send your ship into any rough ocean. Will make sure that no matter what, at the end of the day, your ship keeps sailing free. Yes, even as believers in God, we still stumble, we still fall, we still have plenty of doubt. But here's the thing, with prayer, the power of prayer, everything becomes clear at the end of the day. All problems will be solved by God. And I don't want you to be under the impression that if you have tons of problems, like you can't pay your cable today, that by praying to God it will get paid today. Here's the bottom line. Prayer after prayer after prayer after prayer will give you results eventually. You will see those results. Those prayers will give you results like your appearance getting better because you're not drinking and smoking. Your skin color is becoming better. Your financials become better. Your relationships, possibly, if you're having problems, will become better. But all that comes with the power of prayer. It is time for you to make those changes today. Start making the changes, then go into a support group like AA or NA or rehab or treatment centers, or you can even try my methods, which are pretty much directly what I'm doing right now, and that is to serve my audience, you, daily with videos of inspiration, with quotes of inspiration, with videos of guidance and direction, either coming directly from the Mayo Clinic or the CDC or other articles that I find, and I deliver them into your living room, into your kitchen, possibly into the jail that you're watching me right now because you've been pulled over for DWI, or possibly in a homeless shelter because you couldn't afford to pay your mortgage because you were so infested with drugs that you were utilizing all your funds for that. My message is clear, my message is strong, my message can come to you wherever you are. Thank you very much as my audience for continuously watching me, and if there's anything or any subject that you want me to talk about, you can call me at 844-405-HELP, or you can text me at 631-599-0218, and let today be the better day, be the best day of your new life by stopping the smoking pot, by stopping doing drugs, crack and coke, by stopping drinking excessive alcohol, or any alcohol at all is even better. Let today be the new day of your rest of your life. Folks, it is so simple to understand that it is all within you. You have the willpower to quit doing whatever you're doing. You really have that willpower. It is not AA that makes you stop. It is not any place other than you. Within yourself, you have the power. Yes, we all need support of other functions. AA is a support unit. Rehab centers are support units. But it starts with you. It starts within yourself and your willingness to make the changes that you need. All the years that I had as an alcoholic, I knew I was an alcoholic, but I wasn't willing to accept the fact that I needed to change. Well, here's the thing. Back in 2013, I finally realized it. If you've been watching my videos all along, you know my story about helping others. Started in 1981 in the Marine Corps as a lay leader, when I was appointed by the chaplain during boot camp to be the mediator between the recruits and the chaplain. And there, God set in motion of my communication ability to speak to other people with motivation and speak to other people to show the signs of hope. But during my Marine Corps years and after, all the way to 2013, the alcohol took over my life. And yes, even though God told me in 1981 that it's time for me to help other people, the alcohol prevented that. But God sat back and he says, I'm going to wait for Ralph to finally man up to his issues. Back in 2011, I organized and created with my wife an organization called Mastic Beach Outreach 2011, which again is to help people, which God always said I was ready to do. To help old elders, to help handicaps. But yet the alcohol held me back again. 2013, to be exact, June 22nd, I hit rock bottom. Here's the great thing about rock bottom. You'll know when you hit rock bottom, Because it's when all hope, all desire to live, all lights at the end of the tunnel shut off, except for one little pinhole of a light where you feel it's the end. Then you know you've hit rock bottom, when the only way out is up. You look at that pinhole light and you crawl, almost like the military, crawl towards that light. Well, that light is hope. That light is sobriety. That light is the light of God. Then you've hit rock bottom. Then I knew I hit rock bottom. Then God finally said, as he sat there from 1981 boot camp to 2013, Ralph, you are now ready to continue what I asked you to do in 1981, which is to communicate to other people, to help other people, to be the voice of reason, be the voice of hope. 2013, June 22nd, I came up with clearviews.info. Then I came up with another website and another, and then I came up with my own show that I do daily for YouTube, which is the Take Your Life Back Today show with me, Ralf Friedrichs. And here I am, sitting in front of this camera, letting you know that no matter how dark, how bad your past was, no matter how you think life is coming to an end, there is hope. All it is within your insides to finally say, I've had it. I need guidance and direction from God. And when God reaches down, reaches to your arm and pulls you up towards him, then it's time for you to come up with an action plan. Go to AA. Go to treatment centers. Call me. Text me. Call Dr. Luis Gonzalez at 844-414-8444. Seek professional help. But as long as you're not willing, deep inside, to give it 100%, it'll never happen. So that is when you know you hit rock bottom. That is when you reach for your higher power. That is when you reach for social support. Let me help you in any which way I can at 844-405-HELP. Let me just see what time. Okay, I had to check the minutes on there. And I will help you take your life back. Just a quick recap. Tips on quitting this smoking pot. Number one is to have to 100% want to quit. Number two, there are no physical symptoms to quit. And that's why people fail at it, because of the withdrawal part of it. Number three is two methods. You either quit cold turkey or you taper off. Cold turkey is certainly the faster, better way. Number four, maintain good diet and health and exercise. Number five is distract your mind with a new hobby, a new passion. Remember the circle. What goes around comes around. What comes around goes around. It's just a thing. Do good, get good. Do bad, get bad. Number six, drink lots of water. Start flushing your system. Number seven, create a social group. Stay away from the people that were utilizing drugs and alcohol during your times of you utilizing, because if you are trying to sober up, those are the people you don't want to be around. I'm not saying get rid of those friends. Don't hang out with them. Number 8 is don't replace old habits with another. If you quit doing drugs, don't think it's okay to substitute with alcohol. Alcohol is a drug, or vice versa. Number 9 goes along with number 7. Stay away from the old hangouts. The old hangouts have the old social groups. Stay away from that. And last but not least, you deserve it. You've done great. You finally admit you have a problem, so start rewarding yourself for every time you don't drink, for every time you don't smoke pot or do crack or cocaine. Put that money in a jar. Eventually you have enough for a vacation, for a new car, for new clothes. Folks, you have to remember that a sober today makes for a better tomorrow. And remember that big changes all come with very small steps. Think positive. Positive things will happen in your life. And always remember that every tunnel has a light at the end of its tunnel. All you need to do is look for that light and move forward towards it. Remember, like my example, I saw that pinhole of light when I was down in the worst scenario in life. I saw that pinhole and I crawled towards and I scraped towards it to find at the end of that tunnel there was hope. That 4-letter word that means so much, hope. Because we all need something to hope for. And nobody better than God to give you something to hope for. Folks, please use this small example that I've told you about so many times. Is when we go to bed, we take our slippers, shoes, and sneakers off, and we put them by the edge of our bed. Tonight, please put them under your bed. And I'll tell you why. Because tomorrow morning when you wake up, you'll be forced to go on your knees and retrieve them. And why not, while you're on your knees, pray to God. Thank God that He is allowing you another day on this beautiful earth. Thank God that you are able to breathe, you are able to blink your eyes, because there is someone in the world, as we sit right now, you as my audience, me as your host, that's breathing for the last time. There is somebody that's closing their eyes for the last time. And yes, we're allowed to breathe, and yes, we're allowed to blink our eyes. Thank God for that. Do it the way I said to do it, because it makes sense. Push your sneaker shoes or slippers under your bed at night, retrieve them on your knees. Thank God for another day on this beautiful earth. Folks, I hope to God each and every one of you folks has a great day, but more importantly, I hope you all have a sober day. And